Oh, great. Now we can get the party started. The guy with the tambourine is here.
Do you trust horse people? Like people that are into horses? I don't.
They killed Blockbuster! We used to go to Blockbuster!
Would you rather have this vegan prison imposed on you? But they're like, we don't really care if you masturbate while you're watching the house.
Hello and welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me as always is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi JD, thanks for remembering your line and thanks for coming. And today's guest is a returning Is This Good champ who you can hear talking bad movies on Cinephobe, and you can read writing about the NBA at The Athletic. Out of the kindness of his heart, he also reaches old people on something called the radio, I think? It's Sirius XM and Mad Dog Sports. You may know him as Talk Hoops, but by God, he can talk everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Harper. Zach, welcome back to Is This Good?
What an honor to being the first returning guest, and I don't need that fact checked. We can just roll with it. We can pretend Skeets hasn't been on a bunch of times. It's just... I had so much fun the first time, and then I was just silent after that for a long time, and I'm happy to be back.
What were you expecting?
I don't know, a weekly drop-in of just checking in, like, hey, just want to see if you're good, you know? Nothing.
Like good in general or with your performance on the show?
Either one, I'm someone who craves praise. Can't really go on without it, so I ask one person in my life a day, like, hey, am I? Do you think I'm doing a good job at anything? And if they don't respond, I take that as a yes.
You're essentially asking, am I good? Which is a question I've yet to answer. Maybe at the end of this, not this episode, but on the series finale, we'll answer that question, JD.
Oh, okay.
So we end up, Zach, if you want, you can always go to youtube.com/isthisgood. That might be the URL, and look under your old appearance and just read the comments because they're always glowing. Good on this show.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Absolutely glowing.
Yeah, we don't have mean people. Now, unfortunately, we're not at the stage where we have enough listeners where people are assholes. But I would like to get to the point where a subsection of our audience do hate listen to our show, because I do think that's when you've made it.
Yeah, the hate listen is always the way to go. Also, if I could just real quick, we released our 200th episode of Cinephobe today.
Zach, that's the first thing on my list to talk about. 200 episodes, Cinephobe.
And people are angry because we've been faking that we were going to do this unfunny, it's a really tough movie to try to make fun by Tyler Perry called Four Colored Girls. And so we're supposed to do it, and then I used a wild card pick to pivot to I don't know, some Liam Neeson movie. And so then it was this running joke of, are we going to do it? And then we pretended we were going to do it for our 200th episode and instead did Judge Dredd. And so you speak about the hate listen and the hate comment. There are people actually upset that we did Judge Dredd instead of this movie because they thought we were going to do this movie and maybe they watched it in preparation.
Yeah, when it comes to Tyler Perry movies, I'm white enough to know that he's made a bunch of movies about a character named Medea, but I'm not black enough to know that it's pronounced Medea. So that's sort of where I'm at right now.
I don't even know if that's factually correct. I don't know.
It is, because I said it to someone that I used to work with, and they were like, I think you mean Medea? And I was like, oops. Thought I was doing a good thing. But no, seriously, congratulations on 200 episodes. This is the OG Judge Dredd, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Stallone
yeah. Not the new one. But yes, Stallone, Armand Assante, Diane Lane, Rob Schneider. What a time.
Oh my God, Armand Assante. That is a name I haven't heard in years. I guess the new Judge Dredd is not Cinephobe eligible, right? Because it's got to be 40%?
I don't think 40%? It is. Yeah, 40% or lower. Yeah, I don't think it is. Also, I think it's Carl Urban, and
yes, it is.
Yeah, he makes me uneasy for some reason. I don't know what it is either. I'm just never comfortable watching him.
Wow. Well, what else is the Carl Urban in?
I tried watching The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, he's that guy. Okay,
He's the lead in The Boys.
He's also in Lord of the Rings.
He is, yeah.
Is he?
He plays one of the Rohan riders. He's barely recognizable, actually. But yeah, he's good. I like Carl Urban. He also plays Bones in the new Star Trek, the reboot.
Oh, yeah. He's in the new Star Treks. That's true. Do you have a best bad movie of the 200 you've done?
I mean, my favorite, it's probably Action Jackson.
Oh, okay. Oh, Carl Weathers. I think you actually talked about that last time on the show.
did.
Yeah, I think that's still my favorite. I mean, any Liam Neeson movie where he's running at 70 years old is a treat.
They keep coming up with ones, and I'm like, no way that's a real movie. Someone's photoshopped this poster, but by God, how old do you think Liam Neeson is?
He's in his 70s for sure.
He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
So it's just like he's going to go this Harrison Ford route of being in his 80s and asking us to believe that he really did jump from a train.
I watched that new Indiana Jones on a flight recently. Woo, that's not a good movie.
I would say, the way it's meant to be seen.
Boring movie.
Yeah, it is really surprisingly bad because not even the love and nostalgia we have for this character could carry it through. JD, did you see it?
I am not seeing it because of my love and nostalgia for Indiana Jones. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark was one of my favorite movies growing up. I saw it like 3 times in the theater. That's how old I am. But I kind of refuse to see it. I'm not watching it.
That's the right.
I bet Harrison Ford would respect you if you were like asked for his autograph at the premiere or something as he's walking the line, and then he's like, "Oh, so you excited to see it?" You're like, "No, I love you too much to see this movie."
Yeah.
Then he gets back in his private plane and flies home. Hopefully he doesn't crash. Are you doing like because it's Halloween coming up? Are you doing a horror Cinephobe tie-in? Because Lord knows there's many horror movies under 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, there are. Like we did a special one a long time ago. We did a Jason X episode. We did Leprechaun in the Hood at one point, but we haven't we haven't done that. I mean, to really really hammer it home. I think we had Brad Williams on the show, who is a little person comedian, if you don't know, he's just hilarious. So we had him on, and it didn't feel great that was the first one we had him on. But we made up for it with Tiptoes, in which Gary Oldman plays a little person, and I mean, literally is just like on his knees. Yeah, it's if you find a picture of it of like him in that movie, it's called Tiptoes. It is one of the wildest movies we've ever done.
Wait,
he and Matthew McConaughey are twins in the movie. Matthew McConaughey is not a little person.
Is this like a Schwarzenegger DeVito kind of reboot thing?
No, it's a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing. Like they know they're twins. They know. Yeah, it's one of the worst movies we've ever done, which is saying something.
I hesitate to ask, but how did the Leprechaun end up in the hood?
I think it was a magic flute that was then used by a rap group that was trying to like win a competition to go to Reno or something. Like I don't really remember the plot. But yes, if you're wondering, does the Leprechaun rap? He sure does. He sure does.
Do you think it was perhaps the Beatnuts that brought it back with that flute riff? The do-do-do-do-do.
I don't know if the timeline works out that way, but I'm going to say yes.
Russell Simmons was like, Beatnuts, don't use that flute. They were like, sorry, we got this riff too tasty.
I think one of the rappers in the movie is Postmaster P. I think that's one of the names. So
one of the names. I was like, oh, okay, sorry. I don't.
Oh, no, not a real rapper. No, that's his rap name in the movie. Yeah.
Oh, JG's showing us a picture of Gary Oldman on his knees in Tippy Toes. Is that what it's called?
Tiptoes. Yeah.
Tiptoes.
That is so weird.
That's Kate Beckinsale, by the way. Yeah.
Oh my God, towering over him, looking like
never
Victor
heard of
Wembanyama over there. Just before the show started, you said, hold on a second, I have to wrangle my dog. So I have to know, with Halloween coming up, are you going to be putting that dog in a costume?
No, he doesn't like wearing any clothing. He doesn't even like wearing a harness. So no, it would. We had him. My sister bought like family pajamas for everybody for Christmas, and we did like a big photo, and she bought pajamas for him, and I've never seen a dog more depressed than just standing there. Wait, like he didn't do anything. He didn't like try to run and like or try to like get them up. He just stood there waiting for either someone to take these off of him or for his life to end.
Because there is that dog costume I'm sure you've seen online of Chucky that you put on a tiny dog.
Oh, I would love to have that on him.
The dog is chasing you around with a knife.
Yeah, that would be great. Unfortunately, he would not chase. He would just stand there.
Look at this bad GIF work here. The dog chasing you around with the knife. This doesn't look great. I saw what else? I saw a black chocolate lab that had like graham cracker and then marshmallow, and then the black lab was the chocolate.
Oh, I like that.
That's cute.
So that was kind of cute.
When he was a puppy, had him in a Ghostbusters outfit that he hated, and then tried to do a Beetlejuice one as well, but he wouldn't let me put the wig on him. So it was just a strange
so you're like, if you're not going to put the wig on, then you might as well wear the costume at all.
You're not going trick-or-treating at all.
All right, some quick housekeeping here. If you'd like to support the show, please join our Patreon at patreon.com/isthisgood. You can also sign up for a free trial if you want to listen to last week's Great Beyond, which was Patreon only. Of course, you could send me topics to isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube, leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Zach, you already know this, but the premise of the show, it's very simple. I'm going to give you a topic, and you tell me if it's good. Are you ready to go for round 2?
Absolutely.
All right, Dennis K asks, keeping notes about friends/acquaintances, is this good? So Dennis wrote in to explain. I recently finished grad school and went for drinks with a friend from my program to celebrate. After a few cocktails, she revealed a secret. She takes notes about people she meets in each person's notes section in her contacts app. I convinced her to show me mine, and it was full of information I told her about my career, family, personal goals, and interests. She's the only person I've ever met that does this. But is it good? All the best, Dennis K. I'm going to just take a shot in the dark here and guess that this grad program that they're graduating from was business. That's just a guess. So, Zach, what do you think? Have you seen this before? Have you done this before? Does it offend you? Do you love it?
I'll admit, I tried it once.
Okay.
With a girl I was dating, just to early on, just like, and it wasn't like in real time. It was like she'd say something, and I'd be like, oh, I should remember that, right? So I'd I put it in, and I just checked to see what was in there, and it was simply the names of her 2 dogs, and her middle name. That's all that's in the notes section. So I did try it once. This was a couple years ago. I haven't updated it since. I do remember feeling kind of weird about it. Like, these are things I should remember anyway. And I felt a little bit like a serial killer, creating portfolios for people I might murder later. I don't think it's good. Like, I think... I also think it's fine. This happens to me a ton. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but it happens to me a ton where you'll meet people, and I'm really bad with names. I think a lot of people are bad with names. I don't think they're really paying attention as they're introduced. And so I get asked a lot, like, I'm sorry, what was your name again? Like, I think it's fine to ask people to restate things. I think it's okay. I think keeping notes, I don't know, like, we're not spies. Right? Like, it's just a weird thing to me. I don't think it's good. I don't like it the more I think about it.
Yeah. Well, it's not like the note was 9:48 p.m. Light in upper bedroom turns off. 7:12 a.m. leaves house alone. It's like, now I do have to ask you, because I remember, as I'm a good host, I remember from last time, I hope this woman that you took notes on wasn't the one that broke up with you via email.
No, different one. No.
Okay,
no. This was someone I dated after that person.
Yeah, that's right. Zach gets chicks, okay? There's
women. Not to brag, I've dated 2 women.
Hey, I'll tell you this. If that woman had somehow seen this, I think she would have been furious at you, right? Like, sorry, like...
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be able to remember these things?
100%. Like that, and I think that. Well, what's funny is at one point, I don't know, we had been dating for a few months, and she called me one day, and she said, "What's my middle name?"
Come on.
And I swear to God, like I think she was trying to figure out like if I was like, really into her and really into this relationship or whatever. And so she was like, "What's my middle name?" And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "What's my birthday?" And that one I knew, like, for sure. I kind of, like, guessed on the middle name, but I was right. And then the birthday I said, and she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "What is this?" And she's like, "I just don't know if you're, like, really into this." And so I passed the test, I guess. But, yeah, that...
Yeah, but she failed the test. How about that? That's a failure for her to try to test you. If my girlfriend called me and said, "What's my middle name?" I would say, "Okay, don't panic. Here's what's happening. You're in a Jason Bourne style scenario, okay? You have amnesia. Look around where you are right now. Can you automatically count how many exits there are? Do you know who looks like someone might be trying to track you?" Like, that would be my concern if my girlfriend asked me for her middle name. Luckily, I can remember her birthday because it is the same as my mom's birthday, which... I thought I would hate, but honestly, I'll never forget it.
Makes it so much easier.
The year I comes and goes. Different years, by the way, just to be clear on this. Do you think that this is sort of like another way that the business world is creeping into our social lives? Like how people are bringing business jargon, like, "Oh, hey, let's circle back on this or that," or
I hate the circle back.
Keeping notes, or how I don't know. My friends told me that I've been laid off from our friend group due to a downturn in the due to softness in the advertising market.
I used circle back in a text yesterday and hated it with the couple who watches my dog whenever I go out of town. Because I was like, because I had like hit him up, I don't know, on like Monday. I was like, "Hey, I had someone who's going to watch," because I'm going out of town this week. I was like, "I had someone who's going to watch him. They fell through. Do you think you could do this?" And he has read receipts on. So I saw that he read it. And then, went a couple days, I'm like, "I really don't have anybody watch my dog." I said, "Hey, sorry to bother. Like, just want to circle back on this." And and when I sent it, I was like, "Oh, what a douchebag." Like, I know nothing about business. I know nothing. I'm the least professional person that's existed in this field, which is saying something. I was like, this can't be the way I talk. That's just not me at all. And then luckily he was like, "Oh, sorry, I thought I responded." Like, "Yeah, no problem." But I felt awful for using circle back. I don't like business jargon at all.
Yeah, at least you didn't say, "As per my last textual message." Now, I would say that someone that's in, like, I think, Zach, you just said you're bad at business. I'll throw myself in that category. JD, I'm going to throw you in that category unless you say otherwise.
Please do.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you are in a business setting and you do need to network, you're going to a conference or something, I do think it's acceptable. I mean, this is really like old school Rolodex style behavior. Like the boss comes out of his room and yells to the secretary, "It's Bill Cameron's birthday," and then get him something nice. And she like looks through the Rolodex and is like, "Oh, Bill hates Malbec. French wine only, preferably a Grand Cru," and that way Bill gets the item that he wants, and Bill thinks, "Oh, wow, like that guy really knows me." But it's too Dale Carnegie, like How to Win Friends and Influence People to me. JD, was this something you would ever do?
No, God no.
Okay,
God no.
But you also forget about everything.
I'm actually pretty good about remembering specific details. I think my philosophy is
When's my birthday?
It's October 22nd.
Fuck, he got it.
Yeah,
I knew that.
Exactly.
When's my birthday?
I don't know, Zach.
Oh, guess.
I don't know.
1 in 365 shot here, JD.
You seem like a Scorpio. I'm going to say November 7th.
Close. January 28th.
Oh, you were right there.
Right there. Just a couple of months off.
Oh, what's my birthday?
Yeah, you
May
answer that
22nd.
because I know, obviously. So you
May
answer.
22nd.
No. I actually just said it, guessing your birthday. It's November 7th.
Shit.
Why would you guess that? What are the chances of that happening?
Yeah, well, yeah.
1 in 365. You never know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's true.
Nothing gives me more anxiety than networking. By the way, I hate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to do it?
I mean, I had to do it in New York a little bit, like just people coming up to me, and I gotta I just am so uncomfortable with that.
Well, you know how famous people say, or it's said they have this hack where they meet so many people that they don't know if they've met you before. So instead of asking you what your name is, they just say, "Oh, so nice to see you." And then the person doesn't know, like, if you have met them before, they're like, "Oh, great." And if you haven't, they're like, "Oh, it is nice to see me." I've never understood this hack because
It doesn't
it's
work.
an insane thing to say to someone you've never met before. "So nice to see you." What does that mean even?
Even if I have met you, why is it nice to? It's not nice to see me. We're networking right now. This is stupid.
Yeah, I know. Well, I will say, so I want to say two things. One, my grandmother does this, but she does it for like friends and family, because if you think about it, once you get to grandmother age, let's say she has one friend. Now that friend has 3 kids, and those 3 kids each have a partner. And then each of those couples have 2 children, and those children are married, and then those children have children. I can't do math, but that's like 30-something plus names.
Yeah. And they're all selling calling cards?
Well, it is a bit of a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Essential oils? What are we doing here?
This is the apartment that Amway built, and please. I also saw this Life Hacker article, and the headline was "Take meeting notes when you talk with friends." So, like, Life Hacker, great example of like all this productivity grind set BS. But I just want to read you this because this is fucking insane. All right, so this is what the article says. Productivity writer Rachel Miller takes notes when she's with friends. Even during a coffee date, she says. Mainly she takes notes on recommendations, good TV shows or recipes, in one case, even pullover socks. It's such a habit that her friends have emailed each other asking for Rachel's meeting notes. Here's how to start your own meeting notes without feeling like a total dorcas. Number 1, keep it casual. All right? Obviously, pulling out a notepad like you're a 1920s crime reporter is very casual. It says, write brief notes in a small notepad or your phone. Don't bring a big notebook around, and don't write every single thing down. You don't want your friends to feel like they're speaking on the record. You just want them to feel listened to. I mean, what? Let's stop there for a second.
That's nuts.
What would you do, Zach, if we were having a coffee and I pulled out my phone? You would obviously think I was not paying attention to you and texting someone, right?
Yeah. I generally just stop talking if a friend or someone pulls out their phone and start, I'll just stop talking, and I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but I'm just all right, clearly this isn't interesting to you. I'll just wait until you're not distracted and we can change the subject or whatever. Right. And sometimes sorry, I just had to do this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. But that's something where especially now at my age, I'm just yeah, I'll just stop talking. This is clearly not working for you.
Yeah,
I think that
you're being
the power
polite.
move is to just record all your conversations. Just hit record on your phone. Slide the phone towards them and say, "Go ahead, start talking."
And you have to ask if it's on or off the record. I think that's
right.
If it's a close friend.
Well, I just want to we all hang out with a stenographer, right? This is all This is just I bring one everywhere.
It's a BYOS.
You can't expect one to be there. I think you have to make sure you bring your own. Yeah.
Would have been a great strategy for that woman you were dating. Instead of you having to be like, "Oh, it's got to remember, Zach, remember." You just pull out the transcript of the conversation. Yeah. And let me say this: why don't you also go ahead, because you're bringing in big money from all these various jobs you have. One of those people that paints the courtroom, so you have an image of that time you were both at Starbucks together.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because this is, literally 3 hours ago, for the first time in my life, ordered some sketching supplies, like pencils and a pad and I have zero artistic ability. I'm 41 years old, and I've just decided, what if I learned how to draw? And I'm really bad at like any art stuff, but I was just like, whatever, I'm going to try to pick up a new skill. Can I sketch what I like, try to like make a representation of our like coffee meeting or whatever?
Right.
Is that weird? What if I do it myself?
I think a woman would find it quite charming if you asked to sketch her in the nude.
But what if it's just like a stick figure and then a coffee cup? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, paint me like one of your stick-figured girls.
Or it's a stick figure of her with a text bubble with her middle name and her 2 dogs and her birthday and all that, you know. Yeah.
That you would remember that. Are you going to go YouTube mode and just like look up tutorials? How are you going to do it?
I'm just going to try to, like, there's been one time in my life when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10, in which I looked at the cover of a comic book and I just started drawing it, right? Like, not tracing, but just trying, and it was really good. And then I tried it again and it was really bad, and so I never did it again. So I'm just going to try to, like, what is it? Freestyle, free ball, whatever that style of drawing is. Well, we'll see what I'm sketching, but
unless you're using a ballpoint pen, if you're using a ballpoint pen,
I think I ordered pencils, but I don't really remember. It's like 40 of them too. It's too many pencils. But
well, you ordered the colored pencil box?
No, there's no
just
color.
Different kinds of
it's just different kinds of pencils. It's like
HB.
Oh, you're
That's
getting
the only
into
one I
like
know.
the millimeters of the tip.
Yeah, it was the first thing that came up on Amazon. So that's just I was like, all right, that's got to be the one. The first one that wasn't sponsored.
Okay.
I figured that's the
I
way to
also
go.
measure my tip in millimeters. So, Zach, 53% of people say keeping notes about friends or acquaintances is good, actually.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
I know.
crazy.
I know. I will say
Would you
I do
wanna-
keep a notes app called Gifts on my phone. So if I think of
Okay.
something that like reminds me of you, Zach, and I know it's your birthday coming up on November 7th, then I'll put it in, because there's no way that when that comes up, I will remember that, like, oh, you really liked the film Tippy Toes, and I'm going to buy you a signed poster off eBay. But if I put it in this app, I'll remember. So that's something
I don't
do.
mind that as a strategy. But would you want to see the notes that your friend keeps on you? I wouldn't. I don't think I want to know.
No, I definitely don't.
God,
I
no.
definitely don't want to know. Because, yeah, again, it's too strategic. And I feel like they're using it as leverage, frankly. Like, they're going to find out that I, have a dog and I love the dog, and then they're going to kidnap the dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest concern. All right, Zach, it's time for the Is This Good segment where everything's bad. It's time to pick your poison. So here's how it works. I'm going to give you some related options that are all bad, and you have to pick your poison. So whichever you consider the least worst option. And today's category is Halloween costumes. All right, so pick your poison. So I'm going to give you 4 options, and you'll have to wear one of these kinds of Halloween costumes out tomorrow. This is coming out on Monday, the day before Halloween. So here we go. Here are your options. Number 1, a lame, no-effort Halloween costume. So think like the guy that shows up to work dressed regularly and is like, I'm an accountant. Or like just wears their gym clothes and it's like, I'm a guy at the gym. Or the worst one, I'm dressing as Matt Austin. Ha 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 ha. In the case where you are me. Not you dressing up as me dressing up as me. So that's number 1, a lame, no effort Halloween costume. Okay. Like you might as well not have done anything at all. Number 2 is a good Halloween costume, but no one gets it. So we can get into this in a second, but I was in this scenario last year where I wore a costume that I was super happy with and spent the entire night having to explain to people who I was. So that's no fun.
Wait, what was it? What was the costume?
So it was Liam Gallagher of Oasis.
Oh, okay.
So I had the bucket hat. I had the John Lennon style Coke bottle glasses. I had a tambourine. I had that sort of long green coat that he wears in the "Do you know what I mean" video. I mean, I thought it was pretty
carrying around a
good.
tambourine.
Yeah.
That seems so cumbersome. Like that just sounds annoying.
Hey, well, a lot of people said when I walked into the room, "Oh, great, now we can get the party started. The guy with the tambourine is here." Okay, so your third option is a good costume that's bulky and uncomfortable. So like a big felt fabric thing. You're overheating, you're sweating, you can't hold your drink because you're dressed as a lobster and you're wearing the claw. Or number 4, a 2-person Halloween costume. So think like you and your friend are like, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if we were a horse and I'll be the front end of the horse and you're the back end of the horse and now you're tied, I was going to say human caterpillar, but that's not what I meant. Human centipede style, back to front with someone." So just to go over your options again. Number 1, a lame, no-effort Halloween costume. 2, a good costume that no one gets. 3, a good costume that's bulky and uncomfortable. Or 4, a 2-person Halloween costume. So why don't you start by telling me which you think is the worst one, the one you definitely don't want?
Bulky one. I have no interest in that. Like that sounds like an absolute nightmare. Like you're gonna do that for hours at this party. You can't, eat. You can't drink. You can't do any of that stuff. That's worst case scenario for sure.
Yeah, and then if you take off the top of it to breathe, then everyone points at you and is like, "I knew that wasn't actually Gumby,"
Exactly.
And then you ruin everyone starts crying. Now I don't know your relationship status currently, but I know that when I was single, which was most of the time, I didn't want to wear a costume where I wouldn't look cool or where people couldn't see my face because I'm like, God forbid I should meet someone at this party. I want to be in a position where like
you can't have a reveal where they're like, "Oh," like you've been like vibing all night and then like you take off the space helmet or whatever. They're just like, "Oh, all right, well I'm gonna go over here." Nice talking to you. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, this, sorry, I just reminded myself that when I first moved to LA, I went to a Halloween party and the theme was Leonardo DiCaprio. So you had to dress as Leonardo DiCaprio or a Leo adjacent character from one of his many films. And I did Basketball Diaries. I mean, talk about a lame, no-effort Halloween costume. You thought bringing a tambourine to a party was bad? I brought a fucking Wilson, Zach.
Wow.
But here's the interesting thing. I didn't meet anyone at this party, even though I was single at the time. Then, maybe a year later, I meet someone on Hinge. And then on our third date, we start talking about people we know. And then I'm like, "Oh, that's sort of funny. Then do you know this person?" They were like, "Yeah." I was like, "I went to that person's Halloween costume like when I first moved to LA." And then she was like, "I was at that Halloween party." And I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah." Well, I was, married at the time, divorced. This wasn't one of them swinging apps. And I was like, "That's so crazy. I can't believe I don't remember you." And then she showed me a picture of herself, and she was dressed as Leo from Django Unchained, and she had a full mustache on.
All right. That could be hot.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Anyways, it was kind of cool.
Apparently not.
No, well, I really thought, wow. I had this dumb thought, Zach, where I was like, wow, this is gonna work out because this is the best like dating story that I've ever had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people ask us, "How'd you meet?" It's like, well, funny story. We actually met when I was single and she was married in a seemingly very unhappy relationship. And I was dressed as Leo from the Basketball Diaries. She was dressed as Leo in Django Unchained. But we didn't even know. But look, there's pictures of the night on Facebook, and we're there, both in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what a cool story I just told. I'm
trying to think of there was a time in college where I didn't have a costume, and we're like, well, and I got back to the dorm, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to this party." I was like, "I don't really have a costume," and this guy lived in it was like this big suite with like eight of us or whatever, and he's like, "Well, I have a Punisher shirt, and you have hair clippers, so just like wear the Punisher shirt and shave a mohawk into your head. And I was like, all right. And so I did it. And it's not low effort, but it's not a lot of effort either. And I did meet someone that night. And we dated for a little bit, but then it turns out she didn't like that I grew my hair back, like that wasn't my hairstyle.
She liked the mohawk.
Yeah, she liked the mohawk, and I'm like, I would never do this like long term. Like, no, this is crazy. And then so yeah, I think there are other reasons she didn't like me, but that was one that was mentioned for sure. Like, wait, that's not your normal hair? I'm like, no, that's nuts. Like,
I would say that's the most effort costume, and you know what? You just that could have been a good one to ask and pick your poison. A costume where you have to change your actual appearance.
Yeah. So
I have a beard, but I want to be, I don't know, someone with like a pencil mustache or something. That's a lot of effort to change the way I look, I think.
Yeah, I've been asked to like go mustache a few times by someone I'm dating, and I just can't pull the trigger on that. I don't think it's a good look for me. Just a mustache.
Well, hey, since it's very easy for you to shave parts of your body, why don't you shave it right now and we'll tell you how it looks.
Okay, I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay, so you've said the worst one is a costume that's bulky and uncomfortable. You don't want to be at the party sweating, unable to drink your drink. What about a 2-person Halloween costume? Does that speak to you?
It has to be a connected costume, because I also was recently told to like go as Kevin Arnold, and they
From
would
the
be
Wonder
Winnie
Years?
Cooper. Yeah.
Oh, but that's just like a couple's costume.
Right. So that doesn't count, right? We're not counting that as like the 2-person. Okay. No, then I have no interest in the 2-person costume. That also, even if I was the front of the horse.
Yeah.
I want to mill about a little bit. I don't want to be tied to someone. I don't want to. And then if you're the back and you get out of it, now you don't have a costume.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You just like the weird person, or you're like, well, I was this, I was the ass of this horse for the first hour of this party. Like, I don't think that's a weird thing. That's a weird sentence to say. Like, I know that sounds awful to me.
Well, going through the paradigm of which would a girl that you meet at the party like most, unless she's very into horses, that's probably not a great one either.
Do you trust horse people? Like, people that are into horses? I don't.
Why would I?
Some people do. Some people are super into horses.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I don't trust horses, and people that like dedicate their lives to being around horses, I just have questions. Like, I don't necessarily think it's bad. I just don't understand it.
Well, I would say if you meet a woman and you go on a date and she tells you she's into horses, you get those cartoon dollar signs in your eyes, because that means she's rich.
Right.
So that's good.
Or she only dates rich people.
Right.
And they fund that
That's
horse
right.
lifestyle.
No, I don't think you can do that, because what if you break up? Who's paying for the hay? Who's paying the stable fee? Who's paying for the rider?
It's not her name on the contract.
On the horse lease?
Yeah, on the horse lease.
Okay,
Not
so
her credit score taking a hit.
Yeah, exactly. You've got it down to 2 options here. So a lame, no effort Halloween costume, or a good costume that no one gets.
I'd probably go good costume that no one gets, because it's a conversation starter that you can either have be a quick conversation or a longer conversation if that seems to benefit you for the rest of the night.
Yeah, it was really great having that conversation over and over. Well, so while grunge was happening in America, across the pond in Europe, a new sound was burgeoning, inspired by the Kinks, and a return to British thought and pride in their own country. Yeah. No, it wasn't fun, but I do agree with you. I think that is the answer. JD, did one jump out at you as the one you would choose?
Oh, I would definitely go with the big one that's you can't move in, but it's a good costume. Because
Really?
I like committing to a bit, and
Okay.
I've had costumes, like one time I went as Carrie, like from the movie Carrie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I used actual corn syrup, and I was playing a show, so I was playing drums in a dress and corn syrup like dripping off me. But it looked amazing, so I was happy with it, but it was the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my life.
And did you meet a woman that night?
I was with Rachel at that point, so
Okay.
yeah.
So you
It was
did.
her dress I was wearing.
Back when you could fit into it, am I right?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
All right, Zach. When people need help navigating life's biggest decisions, they seek our wise counsel, and we deliver an airtight verdict. It's time to settle this. Okay, so this is a bit of a to-do, but listen to this email. Good morning, Matt and Jason. I recently ran into the younger brother of one of my best friends at a work conference. We hadn't seen each other in a while, so it was nice to catch up. During the conversation, he told me that he and his partner were heading out of the country for a few weeks and wondered if I could house sit for him. Later that night, he sent me a message outlining the finer details of the house-sitting arrangement. I agreed to the terms, and he was delighted. However, after I had agreed to do the house sit, he informed me that there was a caveat. He and his partner are both vegans, and he told me I could not bring any non-vegan foods into the house. I found this to be a particularly unusual request. Ultimately, I agreed, but felt weird about it during my stay. I believe their request was too much and a tad over the top, but you tell me, please settle this. Thanks, that's Jack from Melbourne. So, very interesting here. I mean, the first thing I want to point out is very odd that they made this request after Jack had agreed to the terms of the house sitting.
Yes.
Right? This feels like something that should have been discussed before. So Jack could say, I need my meats. I'm not into it. But Zach, what would you do in this situation?
That is utterly insane.
Okay.
I think that is a crazy thing to, one, not include that in the initial, like, hey, we're going to be gone these days. We need you to do this. And by the way, like, we are a completely vegan household. Do not bring animal products into this household. That needs to be up front. But on top of that, and look, I have no problem if people are vegan, but that is so nuts to then be like, what, is there a Ring camera situation where they're spying on that? Do they have cameras in the fridge, in the cupboards?
Yeah.
Like, what, like, how are they tracking that? Why would that ever be a thing? You're not actually going to, like, stop someone from eating meat or cheese or whatever. If you want to be vegan, like, great, like, that works for a lot of people. I don't think you need to impose that on a household that you're not even going to be in, as long as they are cleaning up and they're wiping everything down and there's nothing left by the time they return. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that actually, if you're cooking bacon, let's say, that smell is, you could clean up all you want. The smell is going to linger. And if you're vegan, perhaps the smell of burnt carcass of living things is offensive to you. I, for one, am not vegan.
I don't think even PETA would be like, all right,
Yeah.
that bacon smells bad.
It's, you know what it is, Zach? It's too enticing. They don't want to come back after and
That's what it
smell
is.
that delicious bacon in the air. They don't want that.
Right. They're like, we just went to Italy on vacation. I didn't have one piece of guanciale. Then I come back here.
And that's why I call bullshit too. You're telling me you went to Italy and didn't have one even sneak bite of guanciale? Now get out of here.
Get out of here. Okay, so I'm saying I think it's okay to say don't use our pans to cook the devil's back bacon. If you're ordering in though,
Yeah.
I can't have
still be a gray
sushi.
area.
I can't order sushi.
Yeah.
I can't get a pizza.
Cheese, plain cheese.
No, not even
cheese.
cheese.
It's
Shit.
vegan.
Yeah.
It's vegan.
Yeah, they've gone too far. They've gone too far.
But the bottom line is that nowhere in this email does it say that this person is getting paid. Jack from Melbourne is not getting paid
I assume
to
they
look
are,
after
'cause-
this house.
Well, he said, how does he put it? We agreed to the finer details of the house sitting arrangement. So what details are there other than we'll pay you this much money? They should pay them.
I guess.
If they'd mentioned it, I would have held out for more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, you have to. And you do it a day before they leave.
Right.
That, like, if
But-
you're negotiating a fee and they hit
Right,
you
you
with
put-
that after, you got to be like, hey, by the way, I'm bringing bacon
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like
You send them the
Unless-
text. Circling
unless
back on our agreement.
per my last textual message.
For my last textual message.
I have a bit of a crude question, but I
Please,
think
this is the place to ask it.
would you rather have this vegan just prison imposed on you? But they're like, we don't really care if you masturbate while you're watching the house, or have or like bring someone or have sex, right? Whatever. Like,
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
you're allowed to orgasm in here, or
Wherever
they're
you
like-
want.
Yeah, wherever you want. Doesn't matter. Or like absolutely none of that, but you can have a burger. You can bring a burger.
Right. So you're saying they say, you said I couldn't cook meat, but you didn't say I couldn't cook my meat.
Exactly. And we're talking, I don't know, 2 weeks house sitting. Let's say 2 weeks.
But are you positing that if I asked you to house sit, that you would think you wouldn't be allowed to masturbate in my house?
I think it's implied but never discussed,
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think that
which is also
It is-
crazy. You're
that is
like you masturbate at a hotel. You're gonna masturbate when
Right.
at someone's house.
yeah. I mean, you're never gonna say it, but you never.
But you're gonna
It's
spray it.
implied that I don't want you masturbating in my house. Like period.
No.
That's
Like, hey,
Full
keep it
stop.
in your pants.
No, I think it's implied in a perfect world, none of your fluids would be released. But like by the same token, I hope you don't sneeze onto my pillow. I hope you don't.
And, like
know.
within reason, right? Like I'm not using any of their stuff to do it.
Right.
Like I'm not like
No.
well, let me like bring that button-up shirt I like out of the closet. Now I'm really gonna like, pleasure myself. Like no, like I'm not doing any of that. I'm not looking at any of their
You're
vacation
gonna have
photos.
your eye on that
Yeah.
vegan coconut oil in the
Right, yeah.
kitchen. You might,
That's why I
Dip
turn all
into that.
the photos of my mother down before someone house sits for me. Okay? I don't want her involved in your disgusting activities.
Right.
So I would say though that so cooking, fine. Pepperoni pizza, I kind of think it should be allowed because I'm eating it out of the box. I'm not using any of your plates. The meat's not touching anything. But here's the thing. So many things that we don't even think about are not vegan, like Starburst and Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears are not vegan
Marshmallows.
because I think they're made with bears.
Have you seen this gummy bear hack
yeah.
from the internet?
Is it real? Is it real?
I don't.
Wait, no,
I
go ahead.
kind
I
of
don't
want
know
to
what you're
try
talking
it.
about.
So you fill like a baking dish, like a glass baking dish with water.
Okay.
You put a single gummy bear in there. You you pour salt in the water. You put it in the fridge. I don't know for how long. Hours, overnight, something.
It's
and then
I've
when
seen hours, but yeah.
Yeah, and then when you go to pull it out of the fridge, the gummy bear is massive. Like it's gone from like a little thing to like a almost a novelty sized gummy bear.
Yeah.
Like a foam dinosaur in the bathtub.
Yes, exactly.
Basically,
right.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I do want to try it to see if it's real, but then like I don't want a salty gummy bear. You know?
Oh, so the salt has to be there.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
assume so.
Well, I don't know. Sweet and salty do go well together. I think it's worth a try.
I don't think that's the right sweet though. You know?
Yeah,
Like
I
a
don't
gummy
think
bear's
it-
a gummy bear's a real different sweet than like some kind of umami.
caramel or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I don't think it's real. It looks way too perfect. I've seen 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they all look like just, like you said, novelty-sized gummy bears.
Yeah.
I also don't want to try it because I don't want to feel foolish in my kitchen by myself, you know?
What if you're house sitting in a vegan's place and you're just like, all right, fuck off, like.
Yeah.
And jerking off to a giant gummy bear. No one wants that. What about if the person you were house sitting for is an alcoholic and they ask you not to drink in their house?
Not to drink there? I mean, I'm
What
not
difference
leaving
would it
any.
make? I mean-
Yeah,
And they don't want you to drink because they don't want your inhibitions lowered so that you feel more free to masturbate.
I gotta be honest. Like those inhibitions are always at the same level. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what state. See, that's weird to me too. As long as I'm not leaving anything around, as long as I'm not if I'm like not using their glasses or something. Like, I do agree with you on the vegan thing, like not cooking in their pots and pans and stuff like that's fine. Like I can accept that and then just like order food or bring food over or whatever.
Yeah.
But not drinking, they're not going to be there. Like I don't as long as I'm not leaving anything behind, like that doesn't really make sense to me either.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's settled. Jack, you got. Mm-hmm. And of course, you didn't say it in your email, but you didn't get to eat any delicious meat. But hopefully, you got to jerk off at least once.
Yeah, I hope he masturbated everywhere in that house, every corner of it.
All right, let's get back to some Halloween topics here in a segment we call Unpopular Opinions. So I came up with these. They're all Halloween related. Number 1, teens should get treats. So sometimes people get upset, like they're giving out candy, like second grader, third grader. Suddenly, 8th, 9th grader shows up and they get pissed off. Stop taking my candy. What do you think? Should teens get treats?
Yeah. Is anyone like, if you're passing out candy, is there ever a shortage? I don't do it, so. Like not a lot of people coming through this apartment building for trick or treat, so I don't know, but
drop the address. Maybe we can get people going.
I don't feel like
yeah, man, let's get some traffic through there.
I don't feel like anyone is the code is 1028 pound if you want to get it to the front door. I don't feel like anyone is ever like, oh, we're running low on candy, don't let those teens get it. Like, I don't have a problem with teens getting candy if they're dressed up in even a lazy costume. Like, whatever. What am I like? I don't need all these Three Musketeers around here.
Yeah, I mean, aren't we always saying teens are lonely and they're stuck indoors playing video games? Let them go outside, hang out with their friends. I don't see what the problem is here. But JD, you live at a house. I'm sure you're giving out candy. Do you? Does your dander get up when a group of rascally teens shows up?
Yeah. Does
Never
your dander
bothers
get
me.
up?
Nope, never.
Okay, give the teens the treats.
Yes.
Next topic: benign vandalism is a part of Halloween and should be celebrated.
Okay.
We're talking egging or toilet paper, or both.
I would put in this category toilet papering a tree, egging a car, smashing a pumpkin, a ding dong ditch. I looked this up. I was like trying to think of examples of like this sort of light vandalism. One that was listed was forking. Do you know what that is? Because I had to look it up.
No.
Is that when you're staying at someone's house? Your house sitting? You fork?
It is that, but it's also, I'll just read you the explanation from the person that explained it on some shitty website. Forking, when you buy 4 packs of 500 forks and then go to someone's house who you hate late at night, then you put all the forks into the ground with the handle out. When they wake up, they will have 2,000 forks in their yard that they will have to pick out one by one.
Okay. It sounds like a chore.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. But it's listed on the Wikipedia page for sort of these Devil's Night vandalism pranks.
I can't remember if I told you guys about when my house got donutted.
No.
Did I tell you that?
Please.
This was not a Halloween related.
Go ahead.
It's not a Halloween related thing. It was. I mean, this was 20 years ago, almost. But I had broken up with a girl. Well, I had tricked her into breaking up. I was a little afraid to break up with her, so I kind of got it to where she broke up with me, and then I was like, you broke up with me, you broke my heart. It kind of, we're not getting back together.
Did you offer her a trick or treat? How'd you get her to do it?
I don't know. Like, I don't remember what got her to break up with me, but she finally did it, and then she like left. Like, she stormed out of the house, and then she saw my roommate because he was coming home, and then she like ran back into the house, and she like threw her arms around me. I was sitting in like a Barca lounger or something. She threw her arms around me. She's like, I couldn't even make it to the car. I was like, no, you broke up with me. You gotta go. Like, I'm devastated. Like, you gotta go. Like, I can't. I gotta be alone right now.
You were like, you know what?
So,
I think I've forgotten your middle name. If that's important to you, you can break up with me right now.
Well, so what's funny is I don't think I remember her first name because for 20 years we've called her Donuts. Because
oh my God.
Weeks later, I get home from just crushing it as a stock boy at the Gap, and I get home at night. and I pull into the driveway, and there are about 100 mini powdered sugar donuts all over the lawn, on the porch, on my roommate's car. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so I walk in the house, and I think these are the high days of online poker. So my friend's playing poker and everything, and that was his job. And I'm like, hey, what happened out there? And he had no idea what I was talking about. And so finally, he finally comes out, and he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, what did you do? And then we got a prank call of her trying to disguise her voice, and she's like, did you like the donuts or something like that? And it was this weird thing, and I still to this day have no idea why it was mini powdered sugar donuts, but it was 100 of them. We counted.
Oh, I mean, I would guess that if she had just thrown a glaze, it wouldn't have made as much of a mess.
Right. Yeah.
Because now it's like shrapnel going off, right? Like the donut is the bomb, and the powder is the ball bearings that are going everywhere.
We had one of those mail slots in the house, so it wasn't a mailbox, but like a mail slot by the front door, and it took us about a week to find one of those in there. So that actually kind of seemed like it paid off for her, even though she didn't know it. But that was so forking. That seems like way worse for the person doing the prank.
I agree.
I'm okay with the vandalism. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're agreeing.
Right. They're just mild vandalism. Yeah, it's part of Halloween. The egging, that can ruin the paint a little bit. I don't think you should hit a car with an egg, because that car paint is a little tougher to figure out. But yeah, a little TP, that's fine.
Yeah, that's harmless.
How did she disguise her voice? I'm sorry, I'm still hung up on that. Did she
it was real lazy. No, it was she almost tried to do I don't know, maybe a goblin style voice. It was just she tried to make it raspy or something.
God.
It was like a did you like the donut or something like that, right? It was obvious that it was her.
And could you tell how she distributed the donuts? Was she chucking them from her car, or was she just prancing around like a demented Easter bunny?
I think it was that. I think it was like a flower girl Easter bunny situation of just kind of just dropping them wherever. There didn't seem to be a rhyme or reason, but it didn't seem like they were thrown.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know that she didn't have any friends in the car helping her, because if she did, then she would have gotten a friend to call so that you wouldn't recognize her voice.
Yeah.
You know what, Zach? Obviously I would love to have you on anytime you want, but the third time we should just come on and you should just tell me about your past relationships.
It's not. It's a weird history, and it's not great.
All right, so I'm dating this girl. If you said to me,
I made the best decisions.
If you said to me, all right, stop me if you heard this one before. So I'm dating this girl. And I'm like, okay, I don't have enough information to go on yet, because every story you've ever told starts that way. JD, did you ever participate in some light vandalism for Halloween?
Definitely toilet paper for sure. TP at a guy's house because for revenge, for not giving us candy or shitty candy or whatever. Targeted attack. But that's it. Never egging, But that's it, yeah. But we did a pretty good job of, it's fun. Toilet papering is a lot of fun because you have the tail end of the toilet paper and it arcs up and it can go in a tree.
It looks cool.
Comes down.
As you're doing
it looks awesome. Yeah, it's really, really fun to do.
Well,
and it's a pain in the ass.
I'm glad 1,000 trees had to die so you and your friends could have a laugh.
So you've never egged a house before?
Me personally?
Yeah, no. Either of you. You've never egged a house?
No.
Not eggs, no.
No.
I did it
because I looked
once.
so menacing the grocery stores would refuse to sell me eggs anytime near Halloween.
I get it, yeah. I did it once. Not a girl I was dating, just a person that we didn't like from high school who had he had been lying. He was basically just always trying to start shit with people, and then we figured it out. And so we egged the front of his house, right? And then he came out, he came running after us. And chased us down the street or whatever. And then we went to the next street over, figured out where his house was, and we threw it over that house and into his backyard and hit the back of his house too. We found out we nailed it like 100%. So
nice.
That was a little satisfying.
Pull up Google Earth. I need some satellite imaging.
This is 2001, man. Like 2000, somewhere in that range. Like this was all battleship technology at that point.
I wonder if ring lights are curtailing this kind of casual vandalism. But I guess you could just wear a mask or something.
Yeah, we had masks on. Like I don't think he ever knew it was us.
All right, one final one here. Realistic horror-style decorations are too scary. Like, I have to say, well, you'll know where I stand here. I've seen like people on the news being like, what? All the dead babies in my yard are pissing you off? Like, I mean, at a certain point. I've seen like realistic looking rotting flesh, or people that put a dummy in a garbage bag and then like duct tape over it and throw them. Like, I don't know. I find that some people are crossing a line these days, but that's just me. Zach, what do you think?
No, I like it. The more creative, the better. I like being scared. I love a scary movie. I love the jump scares in a scary movie. I get into it. I try to be as scared as possible. I think as long as it is, I mean, dead babies is weird.
Yeah.
Is that horror or is that just psychosis? I don't know what that is.
Exactly.
A creepy baby doll and like the neck will be turned all the way around like it's an owl.
Good Lord. No, I don't. I mean, I don't like that. That's like taking notes in your phone. That's a weird
they're both
thing.
equally
I don't like
bad,
that.
I would say.
Equally bad.
JD, could you put up the picture of the house on fire? So this was in Glens Falls, New York. The fire department was called to this house because people thought it was on fire. It looks pretty good. This guy's got a job doing special effects in Hollywood if he wants. The firefighter said...
That's really good.
Yeah, the impressive illusion was achieved using 2 LED lights, a box fan, a silver sheet, and a fog machine. I'm impressed.
Damn.
Yeah. Did he get in trouble? He didn't get in trouble.
Oh, I'm sure the firefighters all had a good laugh about it.
Yeah.
As people were dying in a fire across town, I'm sure they were yucking it up in their little firemobile. That Dalmatian that they have was howling.
I saw someone honk at an ambulance today that was trying to get through the intersection, which was weird. Like I was in a left turn lane, and the ambulance came from behind, so they went into the oncoming traffic lanes or whatever at this intersection, and then someone that was trying to turn to where they were coming from, and the sirens are going, and like they just started like laying on their horn, like they were mad that this ambulance was coming through. It's a weird decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to mistake an ambulance for anything but an ambulance. So,
right.
I'm going to say that person was in the wrong. That's just me. Zach, before we let you go, there's only one very quick thing left to do, and that's play subjective trivia. So, subjective trivia, it's just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. And in honor of Cinephobe and your 200th episode, once again, applause.
Thank you.
Which of these Cinephobe-eligible new releases will I actually watch?
Okay.
Your choices are The Exorcist Believer, 22%, Old Dads, 22%, Five Nights at Freddy's, that's the Chuck E. Cheese horror-style one, that's 34%, or Expendables, 14%. Of course, Expendables, you can't hear it when I say it, but the A in Expendables is a 4. So that's Expendables 4. So Exorcist Believer, Old Dads, Five Nights at Freddy's, Expendables. Which of these Cinephobe-eligible new releases will I actually watch? I have my answer written on this card here. What do you think?
Okay, it's not going to be the new Exorcist because you don't like scary Halloween decorations.
Look, JD, he's listening. He's listening, and then he's using that information to make informed decisions later in the show. Or did you write down on your phone that I get scared?
I've been recording this whole call.
He's like, his middle name is Pussy.
Middle name is Pussy. It's October 22nd. Is that your birthday?
Hey, you got it. You don't need it.
Or no, that's the birthday of your Your
No,
mom?
no. That's October 11th.
October 11th. Okay.
And my
JD's
social
November
security
7th.
number is.
It's social security number. Right. Yeah, mother's maiden name. All right. So no Exorcist. This Freddy's. What is it? Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Freddy's
Five
got
Nights at
fingered
Freddy's.
5 nights ago, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Freddy got fingered 5 nights ago. No, because I think you are a connoisseur of film, and you've seen Willy's Wonderland, and you rather watch that with Nicolas Cage than this horrible knockoff 2 years later.
Okay, thank you for thinking of that.
It does look very similar.
Yeah. Expendables 4. I don't know if you've seen the first 3 Expendables. I don't need that information. I'm going to go off what I know about you. I don't think, I think you'd probably rather watch one of the first 2 Expendables than Expendables 4. So I'm going Old Dads, or is it Cool Dads? Old Dads. I watched 40 minutes of this. Old Dads. I watched 40 minutes of this movie the other day. Because it's on Netflix. You get to stay at home. You get to just have a nice little night to yourself. Nothing scary's happening. You just
jerk it to Bill Burr and Bobby.
Jerk it to Bill Burr, and you just eat as much prosciutto as you can have. Yes.
I'm home, baby. Okay, so I will just tell you right now, and this is why you're an excellent guest. You got it right.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not, or the parts
but
I
why'd you
saw.
stop
it's
after
not
40
bad.
minutes?
That's a great. I might have fallen asleep. I don't remember. I went. Okay. No. I think I went to. I think I went and grabbed coffee or something, and I forgot that I was watching it when I came back.
Okay. JD, are you willing to commit to also watching Old Dad so we can talk about it on the next show?
I will commit to watching it. It's got a huge disparity on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm very curious about that.
So it's 22% critics.
Yeah,
versus?
and I think 90%.
Here's what I would guess about the critics is that it's a lot of old guy mad about the way things are today, and I'm guessing you got a lot of young critics saying this boomer or whatever, screw this guy.
But he's not a boomer. He's basically JD's age. Bill Burr is 55.
He's Gen X. Yeah.
He's no excuse.
Yeah, but it's he's a cranky comedian. Yeah, he's cantankerous. He's hilarious. He's one of my favorites. I love him.
I love Bill Burr.
I mean, I love Bill Burr too, but I am skeptical that I'm gonna enjoy 98 minutes of him going, "When we wanted water, we drank it from the garden hose," and that's a great Bill Burr impression.
That's really good.
You wish you could draw and sketch that. I wish I could do impressions. This show would be top of the iTunes charts if every time I started into one, it actually fucking worked for once.
Yeah.
They killed Blockbuster! We used to go to Blockbuster! Okay.
Just for the listener at home, that's not Bill Burr.
That's not Bill Burr.
That's not Bill Burr. That's Matt. That's
Okay.
I know it's tough to tell.
Okay. JD, just to tell you, drop the Bill Burr drop in here, right? Okay, drop it in. Okay. This is what Bill Burr sounds like. 3, 2, 1. You can't even hit a kid anymore! Okay, so I wanted to ask you a bonus question while we're here. As a connoisseur of these sub-40 movies, the Expendables 4 poster has 9 names on it. Can you name 5 of them?
God, that's such a... Because I don't think everyone's back.
I'll tell you right now, I think they ain't back.
They're not... Okay, I'm gonna go... Is Michael Jai White in this? It seems like he would be in this.
No, he's not in this.
Okay.
Sorry,
no.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the reason he's top of mind is because he's beefing on social media with Steven Seagal. That's why he's top of mind. That's why.
Okay, great.
Neither of them thinks the other is a good martial artist. And just to catch you up.
Great. This is
okay. Jason Statham's got to be in it.
Correct.
Okay. Is Dolph Lundgren still in these?
Oh yeah, you're on a roll now.
Okay. I think Snipes was a bad guy and got killed, or maybe he didn't get killed. So I'm not. No, it's not. Kelsey Grammer, is he still in this?
Frasier? No, you're right. He was in one of the other ones, but he's not in this one.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm lowering it from 5 to 4. So 4 names, you got 2.
Thank God. Okay.
One is a rapper. One is a very famous rapper who was huge.
Oh,
when
50
we
Cent.
Were, yep. Okay.
Yeah, he's.
And then
okay.
The other big name is.
Because I don't.
An actress
Sly
who's probably
and
considered
Arnold
the hottest actress at the time when 50 Cent was at his peak.
Oh.
She's
J-Lo?
either married or dating like a doofusy rapper.
Oh, is it Megan? What's Megan?
Yes,
name.
yes.
Megan. Is it Megan?
Fox.
Megan Fox.
Oh.
You got it.
Who's the rapper she's dating? Oh,
It's Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah. And then, so the other ones on the poster were Tony Jaa, Iko Uwais, Randy Couture, and Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. They're not like...
Tony
I don't know what
Jaa's
happened
great.
to Van Damme. What happened to
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger? What happened to Chuck Norris?
No Arnold.
Did they die in all the other ones or something?
I think they just got
Or
priced
in
out.
real life? Who knows at this point?
Arnold's going after like insurrectionists now, so like he doesn't have time for this shit. You know, he's attacking January 6th people.
I'm spending most of my time attacking January 6 people. Now that's actually JD dropping an Arnold Schwarzenegger drop.
Yeah.
So, okay, I gotta go work on
Wow.
these impressions. Zach, where can people find you?
I mean, people can find you opening for Bill Hader doing something. I mean, look at these impressions are incredible. At Talk Hoops on all socials, and hey, that's it. Cinephobe. Just listen to Cinephobe.
Oh, no, pitch
Don't even
also
listen to it.
your,
Just download it.
Pitch
What
your
about the
athletic.
Bounce? The Bounce.
your athletic
Yeah, the
newsletter.
Bounce. The Bounce is the newsletter that has swept the nation. Over 10 people subscribe to it. It's very popular. You go to theathletic.com/thebounce. It's free. It's free, and it's an email that you get every day, and you just open it, and then
What more
I
do
stay
you want?
employed. Yeah, what more could you want?
And your Sirius XM shows.
SiriusXM NBA Radio.
JD's an old dad.
SiriusXM
He subscribes to Sirius XM.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. I'm the one that's not yelling about analytics these days and keeping players out. I'm the one that's just like, isn't this fun? Isn't basketball fun?
You used to be able to just turn the dial. Now it's 60s on 6, 50s on 5. How you keep track? Dave Matthews has his own channel? This would have never happened in the days of AM radio. Okay, now I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that is. That's
it's
I
good.
morphed
Whatever
into
it is,
just
it's
old
good.
Jew, not old old dad. All right. Well, support the show so I can afford acting lessons at patreon.com/isthisgood. And if you have topics, remember to email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Thanks to JD. Thanks so much to Zach for coming on not once but twice. Killed it again, and he will be getting that third invite. He should probably stop doing such a good job so he doesn't get asked back. But thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review for everyone. I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. See you next week.